Hello students, welcome all of you in DSCJ Home Classes, a digital initiative by Directorate of School Education, Jammu. Students, today we are going to continue our previous topic, that is determiners. In our previous video, we studied the three kinds of determiners, that is articles, possessives and demonstratives. Now, in this video, we will study the next, that is the fourth kind of determiner, that is quantifiers. So, students, this topic is very important, so you all need to pay attention toward this topic. So, let us see what quantifiers are. So, students, quantifiers are the determiners that describe quantity in a noun phrase. So, you can see that the quantifier is derived from the word quantity. They answer the question how many or how much on a scale from none, that is from 0% to all 100%. So we use some quantifiers only with countable nouns and some only with uncountable nouns, while some can be used for both countable as well as uncountable nouns. So the table shows quantifiers that can indicate quantity from 0 to 100%, and you can also see which can be used only with countable or which can be used only with uncountable and which can be used for both. So for 100%, you can use every, almost, many, much, some, few, fused, little, least, any. But for 0%, there is only no. So if the 100% thing is there, and if you have countable noun, then you can use many, few, and fewest. While with uncountable noun, much, a little, a least can be used. On the other hand, all, most, some, and any can be used both for countable as well as uncountable nouns. And if there is none, or you can say 0%, then no will be used. So like all determiners, quantifiers come at the beginning of a noun phrase. So they also come in front of any adjective or adjectives if being used there. So let's look at some example. I want all the eggs and I want all the red wine. So here all is the quantifier, mean 100%. So it is being used with the noun eggs and red wine. Please give me every egg you have. Who has the most eggs? Who has the most money? So all these highlighted words in these examples are the quantifiers, mean they all are the determinants. There are other quantifiers such as enough and several, and that cannot easily be shown on a scale. We have enough eggs for the party. There are several eggs in the fridge. So these several, enough, they cannot be shown on a scale. So all these highlighted words are the quantifiers. So let's discuss one by one the quantifiers. So very first is each and every. The quantifiers each and every are a kind of determiners. They have similar but not always identical meaning. We always use them with a singular countable noun. So it seems that they both have the same meaning, but they do not have the identical meaning. Each means everyone regarded individually. Here we are stressing, emphasizing individual. So each means everyone, that everyone would be regarded as an individual. Whereas every means everyone and it will be regarded as a whole. So when we are using each, we are emphasizing individual. So each mean everyone regarded as an individual, whereas every mean everyone regarded as a whole. Now, for examples, every artist is sensitive. So here, every is emphasizing artist community as a whole. Each artist see things differently. So there are number of artists, same artist. Suppose there are many artists are, so they can see that same painting, same thing differently. But as a whole, every artist mean we are referring at every as a community as a whole, that is the artist community. Every soldier saluted the president as he arrived. The president gave each soldier a medal. So each is regarded as a everyone as an individual, whereas every means everyone regarded as a whole. Moreover, each can be followed by of. The president spoke to each of the soldiers. He gave a medal to each of them. So every cannot be followed by of, but each can be followed by of. Every cannot be used for two things. For two things, each will be used. He was carrying a suitcase in each hand. So two hands are there for two things. We are using each, not every. So every cannot be used for two things. Every used to say how often something happens and how usually it happens. There is a plane to Bangkok every day. I mean, it happens usually happens every day. The bus leaves every hour. So every used to say how often something happens. So these are the some differences between each and every in their uses. Then next is the either neither. The quantifiers either and neither are also a kind of determiner. We used to talk about possible choices between two people or things. When used as a determiner, either and neither must come before a singular countable noun. Means you need to keep one thing in mind that they both come before a singular noun, not before the plural noun. No, either is a positive. It means one or the other. I mean you need to choose one of them. So there is a positive thinking. You can say that, do you want to meet on Monday or Tuesday? Mean you can choose any day of your choice, whether Monday or Tuesday. So you can choose any one of them. Either day is good for me. Monday is good for me. Tuesday is good for me. So you can choose any of them. There are two keys here which will open the office. So two keys are there. So I think either of them, one of them will work. I believe either key works. On the other hand, neither is negative. It means not one, not the other. Either is positive, mean from the choices, if two choices are there, two choices, you can choose one of them. So when neither is mean negative, neither one nor two, mean both cannot be used. Neither team scored and the game was a draw. Mean both the teams did not score. Neither team A scored, neither team B didn't score. So both the team did not score. So neither is negative when both the options are not. Neither player was allowed to return to the game after the argument. When there was an argument between the two players, neither the player A was allowed, neither the player B was allowed. So neither is negative, it means not one and not the other. And either is positive, mean you can have the option between the two, you can have the choice between the two. Then next is the some, any, and no. The quantifier some, any, and no are also a kind of determiner. Some is an unspecified quantity. It could be big or small, we don't know. Normally it is medium. On the other hand, any is also an unspecified quantity. It refers to one, some, or all. So it is a quantity from 1 to infinity. And no, it is very easy, it is 0, means nothing. So the general rule is that we use some and no in positive sentences and any in question and negative sentences. So it is very important rule, you need to keep this thing in mind. So we use any in a positive sentence, but actual real sense is negative. So I already told you in the rule above that any is used in question and negative sentences. You may write that in a positive way, but the real sense is negative. For example, I refuse to give them any money. So this sentence seems to be positive, but actual in a real sense, what does it mean? It means I did not give them any money. So the real sense is negative. She finished the test without any difficulty. I mean, there was no difficulty for her to finish the test. So we use any in a positive sense when the real sense is negative. Sometimes we use some in a question when we expect a positive yes answer. And we are expecting that the answer would be yes. We could not say that it is not a real question because we think we know the answer already. We are just expecting it. We are just expecting that we are demanding that answer from the other end. Would you like some more tea? Could I have some sugar, please? So definitely we could have the positive answer from the other side. Whereas the determiner no is always used in positive sentence. Do not use it in a negative sentence. I have no money. You cannot use it at like I do not have no money because no is already negative. So you can simply use in a positive sentences, but we cannot use no with a negative because you cannot use two nots in a same sentence. So I think this some, any, and no is clear to you. Then we have graded quantifiers. Many, much, more, most, few, fewer, fewest, little, less, least. All these are the graded quantifiers. So we can use them in a positive, comparative, and superlative way. When something is increasing or something can be decreasing, you can see it from the chart given below. C is for the countable and U is for the uncountable. So when many is used for the countable, whereas much is used for the uncountable. And comparative and superlative of both these is more and most. And when something is decreasing, few is used for countable and little is used for uncountable, and their comparative and superlative are fewer, fewest, less, least respectively. So when something is increasing you can use many, much, more, most, and when something is decreasing you can use few, fewer, fewest, or little, less, less. So first of all let us discuss many or much. The quantifier many and much mean a large quantity of. I already told you that we can use many with countable nouns and much with uncountable nouns. Were there many people at the party means the people whoever was present that were countable. We don't have much time left, so let's go on. So much here time is uncountable, so we are using that quantifier much. So many is used with countable noun and much is used with uncountable noun. And you need to note one thing that we tend to use many, much in negative and question sentences. For positive sentence, especially in informal English, we prefer a lot of a very informal lots of. So many is used with countable and much is used with uncountable noun. Then their comparative and superlative degree, that is more and most. Many, much, and few, little are unusual determiners because they have comparative and superlative forms. The comparative form of many, much, we already discussed, is more, and their superlative form is most. We can use more and most with countable and uncountable respectively. Now, few examples are there. Many people use the internet and more people join every year. So many people, countable number is there, and more is mean even many more, even people are being added. I mean, every time the number is increasing. So more people join every year. Last year there was a lot of crime, but there is even more crime. So again here more is being used as a comparative of much. In verb sentence it is used as a comparative of more. So when there is countable you can use more of comparative of many, and when there is a uncountable noun then you can use more as a comparative of much. Whoever has most points is the winner. Since you have the most money, why don't you pay? So most is the superlative degree of both. So more and most, they are comparative and superlative forms of the many and much. Then there is few and little. The quantifier few and little mean a small quantity of. We use few with countable nouns and little with uncountable nouns. In much, more, many, the position was increasing when there are as a increasing, when something is increasing, and now something is decreasing, then we will use the quantifier few, little. There were few people in the shop, so it didn't take long. There is a little chance that he will come now, so let's go home. So few is with countable noun and little is with countable, uncountable noun. But usually we usually see in our day-to-day examples that sometime number of times we use a few, a little, and we also use few, little. No, what is the difference between few or little and a few, a little? No, few and little have a negative sense. On the other hand, a few, a little has little bit positive sentence, more positive it is. He had few friends, means almost negligible, no friend is there. So he was quite lonely. We have little time left, means just a couple of minutes, very little time, maybe few seconds, so you need to go. But adding the indefinite article a changes the emphasis to more positive. He had a few friends, means some friends are there, so was not lonely. We have a little bit time, not a few seconds, but we can manage, we can have a snack, a bit of time is there. So when we add indefinite article to little or few, it emphasizes to more positive. On the other hand, few and little have a negative sense. After that, we have fewer, fewest, less, least. The comparative form of few is fewer and the superlative form of few is the fewest. So we use them with countable nouns. There were few visitors last week, but there are even fewer visitors this week. So visitors can be counted. They are countable. So few or fewer, you can say that they are used with countable nouns. If Tara has the fewest jobs to do, she can help the others. Again, jobs are countable. So it these are fewer or fewest are the comparative and superlative forms, so they can be used with countable noun. The comparative form of little is less and superlative is the least. So both are used with uncountable noun. The run took little time last week and even less time this week. Eric has the least work to do, so he can help you. So in both is the noun is uncountable, so less or least is being used. So one thing you need to note here, that you need not to confuse with determiner quantifier little with the adjective little, because quantifier little is something, and while little being used as an adjective means here it is a small. Now you can see it from the table, there is a little time left. So here in this sentence little is being used as a determiner, mean very small time, very few minutes as there, couple of minutes are there. In second sentence, I have a little dog. Here it is not as a quantifier. Little is not used as a quantifier. Here it is used as a adjective, mean here I have a small dog. So don't get confused with little as a quantifier or as a adjective. So I think the topic that we discussed today, quantifiers, is clear to you. We have discussed separately the use of each and every quantifier. So let us see how to use these determiners correctly. So you need to remember a few rules, that determiners always come first in the noun phrase. They always come before the noun. Determiners are required with singular nouns. With plural nouns, it is not always necessary, but with singular nouns, they must be there. To speak about a singular noun, generally use an indefinite article. So when you are specific about something, then you will use the as a determiner. If you are talking something about something general, generic, so use an or a as an indefinite article. To speak about a plural noun generally, do not use a determiner. And to speak about a singular noun specifically, use a definite article, that is the demonstrative pronoun, possessive pronoun, or a quantifier. And to speak about a plural noun specifically, use a definite article, demonstrative pronoun, possessive pronoun, or quantifier. So these are some rules which you need to remember while using the determiners correctly. So I hope that today's topic is clear to you. So we have discussed first three kinds of determiners in our previous video, and the fourth kind, that is a quantifier, is discussed in our today's video. So I think this determiner topic is clear to you. Soon I will with you with a new topic. Till then, thank you. Have a nice day. Stay home, stay safe, and stay healthy.